What's up, Internet? What's going on? We're back again today to talk about one of my favorite plants, Anubias. This happens to be the golden variety, which is one of my, is it coveted? It might be one of the coveted Anubias out there, I think, for sure. It being one of the Nana varietals, it actually grows pretty small, not tiny like the petite or anything like that, but it does stay pretty small, kind of nice and bunched up, has some of the brightest green. It's a real light green. It's one of the brightest green that you'll see around. I'm getting sopping wet from it dripping on me, but we got some of this in, and man, I want to show you guys how to get it cleaned up and in your aquarium. So one of the first things that we have to do is remove the actual little pot that it comes in. This little plastic pot. Maybe save these for something. I don't know. They're kind of useful little weird things, or just recycle them. Not a big deal. There has been some questions about Rockwool and whether or not you can leave Rockwool in your aquarium. Technically, yes, you can, as it is really inert, and there's not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot that it's going to do. It will eventually break down, but that's a really long timeline that we probably won't be around for as humans, right? But we get the Rockwool out of there, right? And so the main reason that I take it out is that it is inert, but it's not doing anything beneficial for my little ecosystem, so that's why I take it out. No other reason other than that. Just that it's not going to really do anything. And it has a potential to maybe collect certain things in it that could be problematic over time, but I wouldn't be super concerned about that if you were somebody that just wanted to drop some of the pots into your aquarium. You guys will see I'm utilizing my green toothbrush to get the little filaments off of the roots. Now, the main reason I want to get the little filaments off the roots and stuff is that Anubias is a root feeder. So almost all of its nutrients are going to come from some of the water passing by the roots, or mostly the water column is where it's going to be getting a lot of its nutrient from, and mainly just from the roots. Hopefully that kind of explains what I was trying to say there, is that it is a root feeder. So I do just like to get the little filament stuff off there, maybe give them a little bit of help with my old green toothbrush. The pink toothbrush is for the 150, not for this 240 here. All right, so as you get everything removed, then we need to find ourselves some super glue, which I don't think should be too far away. All right, we got ourselves a super glue. This is the super glue that I like to use the most. Let's see if we can't get it to focus. It's stuck. Oh, focus. Rapid Fuse from DAP. Yeah, so this light green, that's not light green, this is light blue. This light blue bottle is the one that I really endorse. Just my favorite one out of having tried so many super glues. This one is just kind of my favorite. Any kind of super glue gel type out there will do what we're gonna do here, and that never be a problem in your aquarium. It's not ever gonna break down or do anything weird or any kind of chemicals or anything like that. It is activated by water. So if this, for instance, says this sets in 30 seconds, it's probably gonna set a little bit faster when it's wet, because water does activate the super glue. But super simple what we're doing here. We're actually just gonna we're gonna position our little Anubias here on some driftwood. Now we have to think ahead of time, which direction is the driftwood going to be going in the aquarium? So where is it going to end up, right, is kind of the big deal. where's it going to end up, and then what direction do we want the Anubias to actually be facing so that it looks really nice in the aquarium, and then we don't have to fuss with it or try and like re-glue it later on. Means I gotta find my driftwood. Where did it go? We're back with our little piece of driftwood here. It's actually just a piece of manzanita. Actually really readily available in the States. I'm not sure about worldwide how easy it is to come across manzanita, but in the States it's pretty easy to get and acquire and get in. As you can see, this is pretty dark and wet. It has been soaking. This has been soaking for quite a while. It's actually super waterlogged and ready to go. Now we just need to think about the positioning of how this is going to go in. So if I was to jam this into the substrate, how am I going to position it, right, with our little piece of Anubias on here? So what I like to do ahead of time is figure out how this is going to go in, where it's going to end up, and then how the plant is going to go on there, and then how it's going to grow over time. So the back end of the Anubias right here, where it's been trimmed off, it's probably not going to grow that direction. It's actually going to keep growing this direction right here in that way. So if I put it on here backwards, it's going to grow back that way, or if I put it on here frontwards, it's going to be growing frontwards up that way. So what I often like to do is have the new growth coming towards the front, right, so that it actually grows in the direction of, you know, the viewing area where we're actually going to be taking a look at it. So let's go ahead and glue this in place. This is kind of a little piece here, so what I would normally do with a little piece is drop it into like a little crevasse, like where the branches are splitting right there. And yeah, so let's get this one glued in here, and then we'll drop it in the tank. So let's get this glued in place. We're just going to put a little dab right there. Then we're going to take our plant, thinking about how it's going to go into the tank, then which direction it's going to grow, and we'll just sneak it in there. All right, so pretty well already glued into place. Doesn't take that long, just takes a couple seconds. Let's go ahead and I think I'm gonna stick one more on here, like probably right up this way. Maybe like right there. You know, that'd be cool. Yeah. All right, there we go. Glued into place pretty well. Cool. So let's hop up and we'll stick it in the tank now. So now we've got it in the aquarium, and now it's just all a waiting game, you know. And we're just gonna have to wait probably 10 years before it's really grown into a giant plant, but hey, that's just the breaks. Like I said, one of my favorite plants out there around. Definitely, just definitely super beautiful, bright green, awesome addition to your aquarium. It will grow in over time. Obviously, I'm being a little overzealous saying it's going to take 10 years to grow, but it will grow in over time and propagate, and I'll show you how to do the propagation once that comes up. So that might be 3 to 6 months from now as it grows in, and so you're going to have to stay tuned. hit that subscribe button, the like button, all that goofy YouTube stuff that needs doing. And I will post some links down below if you are looking to get yourself some Anubias Golden, which I would highly recommend. It's an awesome plant. I love it a lot, and I'm sure you will too. All right. Later. Later. Later.